Kayla here. The other day, I proposed some gun control legislation that said that if any public entity, a business, a school, any public entity that takes away your right to defend yourselves should be held financially responsible for any death or injury that occurs on said property, especially if they did not do their due diligence in having armed guards present. And a whole lot of feedback on that message, and I just want to go into why I think it would work and some of the byproducts that I want happening from that law, or that I expect to happen if that law passed. Those byproducts are that it would force those institutions to either provide armed security or be held financially responsible. Unfortunately, and as sickening as it is, dead kids aren't enough to change their minds. It's not affecting them personally. We all get sad when there is a school shooting, but unless you can affect them directly, it's not going to change anything. So you start hitting them in their pocketbooks where it hurts. You can look at the United States as a whole, and that's how you vote, is with your money. So if you start holding people financially responsible, what I hope happens is that they just remove those signs. And that we also have some armed guards at the school to protect our kids. We provide armed security teams for any other important person. They are politicians, are celebrities. Why not the most precious members of society, our most precious and defenseless members, mind you? Why not have armed security for them? But there are teachers who would absolutely carry for personal protection. And when you start taking down these gun-free signs and start making these institutions harder targets, the cowards who go in and kill the defenseless children won't do it anymore because they're no longer defenseless. You cannot legislate evil out of existence. You can't do it. If we could live in a euphoric society where everybody was good, it would be perfect and there wouldn't be a need for guns. That's never gonna fucking happen. It's just not. As long as you have humans in there, it is human nature to be violent. Before guns, it was sharp blades. Before sharp blades, it was bones sharpened. Before that, it was sticks and rocks. We have always found a way to hurt people. By putting a law in place, it doesn't stop people from doing that thing. When something bad happens, when a bad guy shows up with a gun, you call a good guy with a fucking gun. That's what you do. You call somebody that can stop it. Why don't we get rid of the middleman? And I think that the easiest and quickest way to do that is by proposing that they are held financially responsible if they try to force us to use a middleman. Because let's be real, the Second Amendment has nothing to do with hunting. The Second Amendment has little to do with self-protection. The Second Amendment has everything to do with overthrowing a tyrannical government. That is why we have the Second Amendment. I get so frustrated when there is a school shooting and I get looked at and told that I don't care because I don't want to hand over my guns to the government and say, hey, just protect me. Just protect me. Because right now, in the world, on earth, the largest cause of death for people between 18 and 40 is democide. And if you don't know what democide is, it is the government institution killing its people, where the government comes in and kills you. So you want to hand over the Second Amendment to protect ourselves from that, because I promise you that our founding fathers understood that that's what they were writing the Second Amendment for. You can look in any of the other surrounding journals and writings back and forth. You can look at those and see that that's what this was for. They knew what was going to happen. When a tragedy occurs, like a school shooting, it immediately turns to, let's take away the guns. So you want to hand all of the control over to the United States government, the very government that most of you calling for gun control right now don't support. So you want to give the guys that you say are bad all the power. It really comes down to, we will not stop school shootings by getting rid of guns. it won't happen. You can't get rid of all of the guns in the United States of America. We have more than the rest of the world in our one country. You can't get rid of all of them. What you can do is make it harder for our kids to be killed by putting people that are willing to shoot bad guys in the fucking face in front of them. So if this law does get passed, or if it gets proposed and passed, like I know I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, your responsibility doesn't stop there. If they get rid of those signs, the schools aren't going to be able to pay to put like security guards and all. And we know that they're not. The reason we're going after finances is because like they want to keep all the money they have. The second part of your responsibility surrounding this laws is to start a community watch in your local area where you all take turns just hanging out at the school and being prepared, waiting. Because now you're not going to go to prison for doing that. So ultimately, this is a multi-pronged attack to combat school shootings and to protect our children. It either forces armed guards to be present because they don't want to be held financially responsible, or it allows citizens who are armed to protect the schools. Because again, the only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. We just need more good guys. Remember, guys, that your responsibility to be ready for that fight never ends.